What is up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Today, we are doing something absolutely insane. I'm taking you on a whirlwind tour of one of the most beautiful places on Earth, Barbados. Most people think of Barbados and just picture beaches, but I'm here to show you that this island is packed with so much more. Unbelievable underground caves, ancient rum distilleries, vibrant cities. I literally cannot wait to show you what we found. This isn't just a travel video, it's an epic adventure. We're going to explore 15 of the most incredible destinations this country has to offer. Alright, first up, we are going deep underground into Harrison's Cave. We hopped on this electric tram that takes you down into the earth, and the second you enter, it's like stepping into another world. The sheer size of the main cavern, they call it the Great Hall, is massive. It's over 50 feet high. The formations in here are absolutely insane. You've got stalactites hanging from the ceiling like giant icicles, but the main attraction is the crystallized limestone. The walls glitter and sparkle as the light hits them, almost like they're covered in diamonds. And here's your mind-blowing fact. Harrison's Cave is a living cave. That means the stalactites and stalagmites are still actively growing and changing, but they grow incredibly slowly, less than the thickness of a piece of paper each year. Next up, we've traded the underground darkness for the bright, wild coast of Bathsheba Beach. This place looks like it's straight out of a fantasy movie. This is the rugged, untamed Atlantic side of the island, and it is absolutely epic. They look like giant mushrooms carved by relentless waves over centuries. Bathsheba is world-famous among surfers. The main surf spot is called the Soup Bowl for how the waves break, and it even hosts international surfing competitions. Okay, time for the fun fact. Those mushroom-shaped rocks are remnants of ancient coral reefs, eroded at the base by the Atlantic waves. So you're basically standing among the skeletons of an ancient reef. Wild. From the wild coast, we're now stepping back in time at St. Nicholas Abbey. And no, it's not a church. This is one of the oldest and most beautiful plantation houses in the entire Western Hemisphere. Walking through the main house is like walking through a living museum. But the real magic of St. Nicholas Abbey today is the rum. They have a traditional steam-powered distillery on site. And of course, we had to do a rum tasting. This isn't just any rum, it's some of the most exclusive small-batch rum in the world. And that brings us to our fun fact. St. Nicholas Abbey is one of the few distilleries in the world that distills its rum from pure cane syrup rather than the more common molasses. This traditional method creates a smoother, more refined rum. We are back on the coast, but this time we're at the northernmost point of Barbados to explore the Animal Flower Cave. This is a sea cave, carved out by the ocean itself over thousands of years. The first thing you notice are the massive openings that look out onto the Atlantic Ocean. They act like giant windows with the most insane views you've ever seen. And in these pools is where you find the reason for the cave's name, sea anemones, which are locally called animal flowers. When they open up, they look like delicate flowers, but if you touch them, they snap shut and retreat into their holes. Now for the fun fact, and this one is crazy. The walls of the Animal Flower Cave are naturally colored with hues of green and brown. This isn't paint, it's oxidation from copper and iron naturally present in the rock. We are in the heart of Barbados, the capital city of Bridgetown. This isn't just any city. The historic part of Bridgetown and its garrison is a UNESCO World Heritage Site, which is a huge deal. The Parliament buildings are right there, and they look like something out of a medieval fairy tale with their neo-Gothic style. We wandered through the bustling streets, checking out the shops, the markets, and just soaking in the energy of the city. One of the coolest things we did was just walk along the Carenage, which is an inlet where fishing boats and catamarans are docked. Here's a fun fact. Bridgetown's parliament is the third oldest in the entire Commonwealth, established way back in 1639. And here's the kicker. George Washington visited Barbados in 1751, and it was the one and only time he ever left what would become the United States. We are back in the water, but this time it's for a completely different reason. Welcome to Carlisle Bay. This place is paradise. Calm, crystal-clear turquoise water, long stretch of perfect white sand. But the real treasure of Carlisle Bay is hidden just beneath the surface. This bay is a marine park and is famous for being a shipwreck graveyard. There are 6 different shipwrecks submerged in the bay, all in relatively shallow water, which makes it one of the best places in the world for snorkelers and beginner divers. They've become artificial reefs, attracting an insane amount of marine life, and we even saw a few sea turtles gracefully swimming by. Ready for the fun fact? One of the most popular wrecks, the Bajan Queen, wasn't a warship or a cargo vessel. It was actually the island's first tugboat that was later converted into a party boat. So, you're literally snorkeling over a sunken party boat. So it's Friday night in Barbados, and that can only mean one thing. We're heading to the Oistins Fish Fry. This is not just a meal, it's an event. A weekly cultural institution, the biggest party on the island. Small, family-run stalls, grill masters cooking fresh-off-the-boat seafood. We went with a massive plate of grilled marlin, and it was one of the best things I have ever eaten. Once you get your food, you grab a seat at one of the long communal picnic tables. You're sitting with people from all over the world and locals who have been coming here for years. While you eat, there's live music, everything from calypso to reggae, and there's even a stage where people get up and dance. Fun fact, the Oistins Fish Fry started as fishermen selling unsold fish at the end of the week, just a few small grills on a Friday night. Over the years, it grew by word of mouth into the massive, world-famous event. After the high energy of the fish fry, we needed a little peace and quiet. And honestly, we found the perfect place, the Andromeda Botanic Gardens. This place is an absolute hidden gem. It's perched on a hillside overlooking the Atlantic Ocean near Bathsheba, so you get these amazing views and a cool ocean breeze. The garden is home to one of the most diverse collections of tropical plants in the entire Caribbean. We're talking over 500 different species of plants from all around the world. One of my favorite parts was the section with the massive heliconias and ginger lilies. The flowers are so intricate and vibrant, they almost don't look real. The garden is also a sanctuary for wildlife. We saw hummingbirds darting from flower to flower, little green lizards sunning themselves on the leaves, and countless butterflies. Here's a fun fact. Andromeda Botanic Gardens is the only garden in Barbados that is affiliated with the UK's Royal Horticultural Society. Iris Bonocci, the founder, won numerous medals at the RHS Chelsea Flower Show for her incredible plants. You can't come to Barbados, the birthplace of rum, and not visit the granddaddy of them all. We are at the Mount Gay Rum Distillery, and this place is legendary. I'm not just saying it's old, it is officially the oldest existing rum distillery in the entire world. They have a deed that proves they've been commercially producing rum since 1703. We took one of their signature tours, and it was fascinating. You get to learn about the entire rum-making process, from the selection of the Barbadian sugarcane to the fermentation, distillation, and aging process. The air is thick with the sweet, rich smell of aging rum, which they call the angel's share. The best part of the tour, obviously, is the tasting room. This is where you get to sample the different expressions of Mount Gay rum, from their classic Eclipse to their premium XO. And for the fun fact, this is the one you've been waiting for. The name Mount Gay doesn't come from a mountain. It's named after a man named Sir John Gay Alleyne. He was a friend of the owner, John Sober, who was hired to manage the distillery in the mid-1700s. Get ready for something totally different. We're heading into the lush green interior of the island to the Barbados Wildlife Reserve. This place is awesome. Not a zoo in the traditional sense. Animals roam freely in this mahogany forest. The stars here are the Barbados green monkeys, and they are everywhere. We got there around 2 p.m., feeding time, and it was chaos in the best way. Dozens and dozens of monkeys, tiny babies clinging to their mothers, big old males, all came running out of the forest for food. But it's not just monkeys. Huge, slow-moving tortoises, seriously impressive iguanas, shy brocket deer hiding in the trees, an aviary full of colorful parrots and tropical birds. Fun fact, the Barbados green monkeys aren't actually green. Their fur mixes brown and gray with yellow olive flecks. Looks green in certain light. Even the scientists got creative with the name. You thought you'd seen the best beaches Barbados has to offer? Think again. We are at Crane Beach. This place is consistently voted one of the best beaches in the entire world. The first thing you notice when you get down to the sand is the color. It has this incredible subtle pink hue. It's caused by tiny crushed up pieces of coral. This beach is flanked by dramatic cliffs on both sides. That gives it a secluded, protected feel. On top of the cliff, the famous Crane Resort, one of the oldest hotels on the island. The waves here are more active than the West Coast, perfect for boogie boarding, great for just jumping around and having fun. The water is a stunning shade of blue that contrasts with the pink sand. We spent the afternoon body surfing in the waves and relaxing on unbelievably soft sand. Fun fact, Crane Beach was originally a harbor. The name comes from a large crane that sat on the cliff. It raised and lowered cargo from ships in the bay below. The crane is gone, but the name remains. We're going back to nature, but this time, we're heading to a place that feels like a fantasy world. This is Hunter's Gardens. The entire garden is set inside a massive sinkhole that was formed by a collapsed cave. Walking down the steps into the garden is like descending into the lost world of Jurassic Park. Because it's in a gully, it creates this unique microclimate where tropical plants from all over the world can thrive. There are towering palm trees that stretch up towards the sky, layers upon layers of ferns, flowers, and exotic plants all competing for space. The garden is designed with dozens of little winding paths and secret nooks where you can sit on a bench and just get lost in the scenery. Classical music is played softly throughout the garden, which adds to the magical, serene atmosphere. And the fun fact is all about the creator. The owner, Anthony Hunt, is just as much of an attraction as the garden itself. He often invites visitors up to his home for a glass of rum punch and a chat. So the fun fact is that at Hunt's Gardens, you can literally have a drink with the genius who created the paradise you're standing in. We're heading north up the west coast to a town that feels completely different from the bustling capital of Bridgetown. Welcome to Speightstown. This place is overflowing with historic charm and a laid-back local vibe. They call it Little Bristol because of the historic trade connections between Barbados and Bristol, England. You can still see that history in the old colonial architecture. And for your Speightstown fun fact, in the 17th century, Speightstown was so important it was attacked by forces of Oliver Cromwell. The Barbadians, loyal to the crown, fiercely defended the town. We're putting the snorkel gear back on for our second-to-last adventure, Folkestone Marine Park and Museum on the West Coast. It's designed for snorkelers. There's a protected near-shore snorkeling trail for beginners and families. It's like an underwater nature trail. We saw amazing marine life without a boat. Fun fact, the Stavronikita has a crazy story. The Greek freighter caught fire while carrying cement. It drifted for days, then was towed to Barbados. Declared a total loss, the government bought it to sink as an artificial reef. We've saved one of the most breathtaking views for last. For our final destination, we've driven up to the stunning Cherry Tree Hill. This isn't just a hill, it's a viewpoint with one of the most incredible panoramic vistas on the island. It's about 850 feet above sea level. As you come up the mahogany-lined road, the view suddenly opens up. It is jaw-dropping. From the top, you get a sweeping, uninterrupted view of the Scotland district. This is the wild, rugged Atlantic side. You can see the green rolling hills, the small farms, and the dramatic coastline stretching for miles. And for our final fun fact, the Scotland district is geologically unique in the Caribbean. Most of Barbados is coral limestone, but this area is older, sedimentary rock pushed up from the seabed. That's why it's hilly and rugged, unlike the rest of the relatively flat island. And that is a wrap on our insane adventure through 15 of the most unbelievable destinations in Barbados. From the crystal caves deep underground to the epic views from Cherry Tree Hill, this island completely blew my mind. I knew it would be beautiful, but I had no idea how diverse and packed with history, culture, adventure. We swam with turtles, explored shipwrecks, tasted 300-year-old rum, and saw some of the most stunning landscapes I have ever witnessed. But now, I want to hear from you. What was your favorite location out of the 15 we visited? Was it the wild coast of Bathsheba, the secret paradise of Hunter's Gardens, or the lively party at Oyston's? Let me know in the comments below. And if you've ever been to Barbados, share your favorite memory or a hidden gem that we might have missed. Thank you all so much for coming on this incredible journey with me. If you had fun, and I know you did, make sure you smash that like button and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss what's coming next, because we are always planning something bigger and crazier. Stay tuned for more epic travel adventures. We'll see you in the next video.